Krishna. Jai Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jai Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Thursday. It is 24th of July. The Shravana Masa, Shridhara Masa, Krishna Paksham, Amavati Tithi. So there are no Vaishnava events in the calendar. So we should move into the Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so the conversations between Uddhava and Vidura that was taken place, and then later on, Parikshit Maharaj inquiring from Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami say responding to Parikshit after instructed by the Lord. So now Uddhava is engaged himself in the Samadhi. Evam Trilokagurna Sandishtha Siddhayorina Bhadrayashramam Asadhya Harimije Samadhina. Harimije, just to satisfy the Supreme Lord Hari, Samadhina, by his Samadhi. So he is now in the Bhadrayashramam. Bhadrayashramam Asadhya Harimije Samadhina. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami said to Parikshit Maharaj. And then further, to describe about the conversations about Krishna's appearance and his pastimes and his disappearance. All these activities of the Lord, transcendental activities, they are glorious, and everyone are interested to hear. So Vidura, even though he understood all these pastimes, so Vidura is like a father level to the Uddhava, but still he has heard everything from Uddhava. Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning to Parikshit Maharaj. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 4, verse number 33. विदुरोऽपि बुद्ध्वा श्रुत्वा कृष्णस्य परमात्मनः क्रीडया उपात्त देहस्य कर्माणि श्लाघितानि च. Viduropi buddhavat shrutva. Viduropi, Vidura also buddhavat, from the source of Uddhava, shrutva, having heard about Krishnasya Paramatmanaha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, Paramatmaha, who is the Super Soul. Krishnasya Paramatmanaha. Viduropi buddhavat shrutva, Krishnasya Paramatmanaha. And then further, Kridaya Upatta Dehasya. So this is about Krishnasya Paramatmanaha, and what Krishna has done. Kridaya Upatta Dehasya. So Kridaya, for the sake of pastimes in the mortal world, Upatta Dehasya. And he has accepted the body, extraordinarily accepted the body. Upatta Dehasya. Karmani Shlagitani cha. Karmani, all the transcendental activities, Shlagitani, the most glorious. Cha, also, all Krishna's pastimes, they are most glorious. And Krishna accepts this appearance of his body. These are all divine. Divyam. Daivim karma vichestitam. Yetad bhagavato rupam brahmanaha paramatmanaha param pradanam purusham daivim karma vichestitam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is by his expansions like a Brahman effulgence and Paramatma. and Param Pradhanam Purusham, who is transcendental and beyond this material conception. Daivim Karma, which is them, all his pastimes are glorious, transcendental. Okay, likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is saying to Parikshit, Vidropi Buddhva Sritva Krishnasya Paramatmanah Krideya Upata Dehasya Karmani Shlagitani Cham. Translation for this shloka. Vidura also heard from Uddhava about the appearance and disappearance of Lord Krishna, the super soul in the mortal world, which is subject matter sought after with great perseverance, perseverance by the great sages. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, please. Can you request Meena Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. The subject matter of the appearance and disappearance of the Supreme Super Soul, Lord Sri Krishna, is the mystery even for the great sages. The word Paramatma is significant in this verse. An ordinary living being is generally called the Atma, but Lord Krishna is never an ordinary living being because he is Paramatma, the super soul, yet his appearance as one of the human being and his disappearance again for the mortal world are subject matter for the research worker who execute research work with great perseverance. Such subject matter are certainly of increasing interest become the research. Research have to search out the transcendental abode of the Lord, which he enters after finishing his pastime in the material world. But even the great sages have no information that beyond the material sky is the spiritual sky where Sri Krishna eternally resides with his associates, although at the same time he exhibits his pastime in the mortal world in all the universe one after another. This fact is confirmed in Brahma Samhita 5.37. Goloka eva nivashya akhilatma bhutaha. The Lord by the inconceivable potency reside in his eternal abode Goloka, yet at the same time as the super soul he is present everywhere, in, in both the spiritual and material skies. By his multi varieties of manifestations, therefore his appearance and disappearance are simultaneously going on, and no one can say definitely which of them is the beginning and which is the end. His eternal pastimes have no beginning or end, and one has to learn of them from the pure devotee only and not waste valuable time in so-called research work. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Joy. Thank you, Mataji. So here, Vidura, he has already know about Krishna's appearance. So he is very older than Uddhava. And Bhishma Dev, he has also has got his messengers to understand what is going in the country, in the kingdom. Likewise, Bhishma understood, and also Vidura also understood. They are all the politicians, so they know very well about it. So here, hearing from Uddhava, the elevated soul at the end of the pastimes, Krishna's pastimes. So this is so wonderful. The subject matter of the appearance and disappearance of the super soul, Lord Sri Krishna, is a mystery even for the great sages. Even for the great sages. They are also bewildered sometimes. How come it would be possible? So we see so many pastimes with the great sages involved with Krishna as well. some Durvasa Muni, Bhrigu Maharshi, and many other sages, Parashurama. So when they come across Krishna or the Supreme Lord or Ramachandra like that, and they are also a bit bewildered. How could it be possible like that? Even Narada Muni also bewildered by looking Krishna living with all his 16,108 wives, living with and that many number of wives in all the palaces at the same time with different children, different activities. Narada Muni was also bewildered. And Brahma was bewildered, Indra was bewildered, everyone are bewildering that such kind of activities of Krishna. So one has to hear from the devotee of the Lord. So here, how do we understand if we have a personal secretary, king's personal secretary, he knows more confidential pastimes. And if we approach him, he would give more details to us. But outside, maybe for general public, one kind of information is passed. But if we hear from the secretary, we hear a different story. And for outside public, we hear about the Lord different kind of things. That's why they are not attracted to Krishna. If we hear from the associates of Krishna, then we understand. So the word Paramatmanaha here, Vidura is inquiring about Krishna here from Uddhava. Uddhava is the elevated devotee. Of course, this is whatever the devotional service we execute in our life. And once we elevate ourselves, Janma Sadhakari, Paropakara. So once the Janma Sadhakari that happens at the end of life, when we leave our body, it is a glance of time, a moments of time, what we have done in the past. Then intelligent inquires about our activities in this material world while we have got human body. So that moment, it decides the path where that spiritual soul has to go. Spirit soul has to go, whether to the spiritual world or to the mortal world again, based on our activities. A devotee who has performed all the time in his life devotional service executed, then he would go back to the abode of the Lord. Bhadrayashimam Asadhya Harimije Samadhina Buddhava. So as long as here in this material world, his path is back to Vaikuntha, as Lord has assured. So the intelligence must always be used to inquire about the pastimes of the Lord. And when we have got a material body, engage ourselves only for the ultimate purpose. Shreya Acharanam Sada. Pranaihi Addehi Diyavacha Shreya Acharanam Sada. So further going to the purport here, Srila Prabhupada is describing the word Paramatmanaha is significant in this verse. An ordinary living being is generally called the Atma, but Lord Krishna is never an ordinary living being because he is Paramatma, Super Soul. He is Upadrashta Anumantacha, Bhatta Bhokta Maheshwaraha, Paramatmidhyapyukto. So he is the Prakruteh Paraha, he is the Purusham Prakruteh Paraha. He is the Paramatma, the Super Soul. And yet, his appearance as one of the human beings and his disappearance again from the mortal world are subject matters for the research workers who execute research work with great perseverance. So here, research work. So I think yesterday I was looking not looking, just glance. There is a Historica, one of the group. So one of our Krishna's devotees, ISKCON devotees, especially disciple of Bhakti Vikaswa Maharaj. So his name is Chandra Ramesh. So he was founder of Historica. He was participating, understanding all the digging of Mahabharata facts and everything, and a document, and he created one book as well. He released a book, so which is more popular in India, and also he is now participating along with this spatial technologies to identify the different old scriptures and the old temples which were buried under the ground. So once we bring back all of those things, this archaeologist, this spatial archaeology, something like that, he was mentioning the latest technology, all these monuments or the temples which were buried, they can be found and then brought back. And he mentioned that in these Western countries, they are preserving like anything, so bringing up those things, monuments or temples or anything, the old architectures, and they're generating so much of revenue, like 40,000 crores of money every year, something like that. And he was mentioning, if we bring all of these things, like the temples bring out, and then it would be more attractive for the pilgrimages and the researchers. So this is kind of a, uh, see, if we here look at this one, subject matters for the research workers who execute research work with great perseverance. So well, we have got Krishna's 16,108 palaces. They were sunk and under the water, in the Dwarka, which is in that waters, still in the waters. So once it brought back, how much it would attract all the living entities, the conditioned souls attract towards Krishna. Of course, it is the matter for the research workers. Such subject matters are certainly of increasing interest because the researchers have to search out transcendental abode of the Lord. So it is not the physical things here. Physical things are just only for us to understand what his pastimes, a gist of understanding. But actually, his original abode, it is beyond this material nature. So which he enters after finishing his pastimes in the material world. Jagamalokam swam akanditotsavam. So Jagamalokam. So the Lord leaves to his abode where it is akanditotsavam. They're all every day there are different pastimes are happening. Tam twa so the tam twagatam pratihuta aupaikum supumbabihi te chakshata akyavishim swasamadhi bhagyam hamsasriyoh vijanayoh sivavaya lolat shubhra atapatra sasikesara sikarambham. When the Lord is going with his all his entourage, like one person is lifting one umbrella, other persons are doing chamra to the Lord, and Goddess of Fortune walking along with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The processions in the transcendental abode of the Lord in the Vaikuntha, it is so beautiful. Every day different pastimes there. Akanditotsavam. Akandita is without any discontinuation. All the time there are different pastimes are happening. Akanditotsavam. That is abode of the Lord. So once the Lord finishes his pastimes here in this mortal world, and he will go back to his abode, which he enters after finishing his pastimes. But even the great sages have no information that beyond that material sky is the spiritual sky where Sri Krishna eternally resides with his associates. So Pantastu Koti Satavatya Sampragamyo Vayo Ratapi Manusu Munipunghavanam. So Pyestiyat Prapadasimi Avikinchitatve Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Pantastu Koti Satavatyara Sampragamyo. Even the sages, they are meditating for so many millions of years, they cannot go. So Pantastu Koti Satavatyara Sampragamyo Vayo Ratapi Manuso Munipunghavanam. So it is very difficult, but here for the devotees, it is very easy for them. Adarlabham Atma Bhakto. It is not difficult for the devotees of the Lord. And he lives in the Goloka Eva University Akilatma Bhuto. That abode is very desirable to everyone. Krishna Prasada Lokam Spuhaniya Dharma Snehava Loka Kalaya Ramayam Cha Vishwam. So it is very beautifully described in the Vaikuntha's descriptions in the 15th chapter. That is Krishna Prasad Sumukam Spruhaniya Dharma Snehava Kalaya. But that very beautiful and sweet there. Let me just, what is that shloka comes? I think it comes in the 16th. Okay, anyway. So it is desired by everyone else. That is where Krishna lives eternally with his associates. Goloka Eva Nivasati Akilatma Bhutaha. Okay, so the Lord, by his inconceivable potency, resides in his eternal abode Goloka, yet at the same time, as super soul, he is present everywhere in both the spiritual and material skies by his multi varieties of manifestation. So therefore, his appearance, disappearance are simultaneously going on. So we have got today is sunrise, and today we have got sunset. Tomorrow also sunrise, and tomorrow also sunset. I cannot say today there is no sunrise and today there is no sunset. It is every day. There is no pastime there that one day is not without a sun. So likewise, Krishna's appearance and disappearance are simultaneously going on, and no one can say definitely which of them is the beginning and which is the end. So today we have got sunrise in UK, but at the same time in a different country it is a darkness. So it is a continuous. That means his existence is eternal. So the eternal pastimes have no beginning or end, and no one has to learn of them from the pure devotee. Sorry, and one has to learn from them from the pure devotees only, and not waste valuable time in so-called research work. So likewise, Prabhupada is describing here. So devotees only can give more uh, confidential pastimes of the Lord. Okay, for the general public, so they understand they are covered by the Yogamaya. Yogamaya sama Naham Prakash Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavritaha. They are covered by the Lord's uh, Yogamaya. Okay, so that is from the Srila Prabhupada's purport, and so it is desired to hear by all these great sages. Vidropi Vidropi बुद्ध्वा श्रुत्वा कृष्णस्य परमात्मनः क्रीडया उपातदेहस्य कर्माणि श्लाघितानि च. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Sharmuta Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Devi Shakti Nainabhirama, October 4th, 1970, Calcutta. Okay, so can I request an allocated devotee to read this letter, please? Gauriya Mataji, would you like to read this letter?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhuji, I'll try. Okay. Second. Yeah. My dear Devi Sakti Devi and Nayana Birama, please accept my blessing. I beg to thank you both so very much for your card dated September 15, 1970. And I am so happy that you are finding your combination for working forward in the transcendental loving service of the Lord of Lord to be very fortunate by the grace of the Lord. I beg to thank you for your gift to me of a hand sewn bead bag, which is a very um, skillfully done. I shall be utilizing it very soon for my beads. I hope everything is going on well with you at your center in um, Philadelphia. Please set the example of our ideal householder life in Krishna consciousness. This will be very highly appreciated by all persons who will come in your contact, and you will also be benefited. So please see that you all stick to the regulative line of our devotional practice and keep up the standard of purity as it has thus far been established in our progressive function in Krishna consciousness. Hope this will meet you both in good health. Your ever well wisher, Exhibit Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, from this letter?
Prabhupada, he said the Mataji gave to him bit back. Then that one is a very um, he he said that about the bit back and very nice one like that. Other one I don't understand, Prabhuji. I cannot explain what he talking about. Prabhuji, sorry about that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely read. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. So, any comments, dear devotees, from anyone? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Here, Prabhupada is mentioning. So you are finding combination work for working forward in the transcendent loving service of the Lord to be very fortunate by the grace of the Lord. So one does not come to Krishna consciousness unless he is free from sinful activities, and he is very fortunate. Okay, so Prabhupada is appreciating Daivi Shakti Devi and Naina Abhirama. So, and it seems they have given some hands-on bead back to Prabhupada. Again, giving gifts to the spiritual master with love, that is most auspicious as well. So we receive the blessings from the spiritual masters. And Prabhupada's desire is like this couple needs to be like a ideal household life in Krishna consciousness. यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तत्तद्देवेतरो नरः स pramanam kurite lokah tad anuvartate. When there is a pramana, then everyone would follow their example. So Prabhupada is mentioning, set the example of our household life in Krishna consciousness. This will be very highly appreciated by all persons who will come in your contact, and you will also be benefited. It is when we are spreading and when you speak something, then for the benefit of others, it would also benefit us automatically. So please see that you stick to the regulative lines of our devotional practices. Keep the standard of purity as it has thus far been established in our progressive functions in Krishna consciousness. So this is chant 16 rounds every day and follow the four regulative principles, and then preach Krishna consciousness with the purity. Purity is the force, books are the basis, and preaching is the essence. Okay, so the few bullet points Prabhupada is mentioning in this letter. Okay, and asking of their well-being from the material point of view as well. Okay, so that is from this letter and my takeaway points. Okay, and from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got Krishna book reading. So that is, we have been discussing about pastimes of King Durga. That is at 8 o'clock. Okay, so that is coming our upcoming events. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna. Yes, if there are no updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Have a Krishna conscious day, everyone. Jai Shri